business hacks, tips and tricks for maximizing productivity. Hi, I'm Lucy Griffiths, and I'm going to share a few little things that I do to maximize my time, my productivity as a solopreneur, as a single mom, and how I manage to juggle it all and make it work. So the first thing I would say, because we're going to kind of go big and then go deep. Okay, so the first thing I would say is having a 90-day plan. So when you, at the beginning of the year, you map out your agenda, your plan, your dreams, your goals for the year. And I find this really, really helpful. And so what I will do is I'll literally have my wall chart, and I'll be using that as a way to plan out, this is what I'm going to do, this is the launches I'm going to have every single month, this is what I want to achieve. Okay, and then from that I will then work backwards to say, this is what I want to achieve in 30 days. So what do you want to achieve in, first of all, the 90 days? Really knowing that, and I've got a video all about that. So the first thing I would say is really looking at the bigger picture, looking at your plan for the year. And I've got so many videos about planning your year, manifesting your year. I'm going to share some of the links to that. And essentially what you want to be doing is having that bigger plan for the year, knowing what your launches are, what marketing activity are you doing every single month? You know, what is the big project you're going to work on in each of the 4 quarters of the year? So you've got 1 or 2 goals that are going to stretch the business within those 90 days. So then we chunk it down into our 90-day goal. So having 1, 2 or 3 big projects, big things that you want to achieve in 90 days, whether that is generating revenue, whether that is working on building a new course, a new project that you want to create. And then it's like, okay, so I need to focus on that in my 90 days. What do I need to do within those 90 days? And then break it down into 30 days. So what are you going to do in the next 30 days to make this happen? And that's really where I start. So for me, I'll know what the goal is. I know what the goal is for each month. So what that revenue goal is. So how am I going to achieve that? How am I going to achieve that within that marketing plan that I've got? So I'm sending out these emails. I'm pushing this particular product on social media. I'm doing all of these things within that month. And so because I know that, it means that it's like a non-negotiable. It's on my wall chart. I'm getting it done. It's going to happen. And by doing that, it holds you to account rather than you just flally along. You're holding yourself accountable for, I've got this thing going on. This is what I'm doing this month. This is how I'm going to generate revenue for this month. And then when you work backwards from that, it's like, right, so what time do you need to set up to do that? So that could be on a weekly basis. On a Sunday, you look, right, what am I doing for this week? What's my agenda? What's my plan in order to deliver that particular goal? And so I will literally look at, I've got my plan for the month, and then it's within that week, what do I need to do? So for me, I was looking at my plans last week and looking ahead to the next month and realizing that we're coming into summer holidays, and they're approaching within the next 6 weeks. But for me to deliver content for the summer holidays, I need to be filming the content right now, because actually, if I look at my next 6 weeks, I've got a variety of things going on. I've got, whether it's things like I help with Cub Scouts and, and weekends away and all of these different things that I have going on. And so if I'm focusing on that stuff, it means I can't deliver the business stuff. So I need to carve out the business time right now and make this a priority, because then I can do the other stuff, the fun stuff that isn't business stuff, but I need to get the business priorities done within a certain time frame. And so for me, that's one of the objectives of this 90-day window, is making sure that I've got all of that content so that it feeds into my Q4 and all of that. So I'm going to be filming content right up to the end of October, and I'll have a launch in September, so I want to make sure that within that I've got that sorted, that my launch is literally set up before before the start of the summer holidays, because the way that I work is I'll be having my launch and I will have all of my emails scheduled. I'll have everything planned, all of the videos, all of the social media done. The launch is ready to go. And it means that I can relax coming back after the summer holidays. I can relax and I can then be all set up. And from that, I am, I'm in a good place. Otherwise, I will go into September thinking, I need to organize something. And it's my birthday and it's going back to school. And suddenly before I know it, it's mid-October. So I've got to do it now. And if you start seeing your business in that way and being like, how can I, have that foresight to create it now? So while my business is an evergreen business with minimal launches, I still need to think that far ahead because, and it's not because of like, the business goals, it's because of my life goals. If I want to have the kind of life I want to lead and have that freedom and flexibility, then I need to plan now. And so that's how I want you to think about your business and having that far-sightedness to see what do you need to do. So then you can break it down to, right, okay, well, in this next week, in this next 30 days, this is what I need to achieve. Okay, so once we've broken it down into like our 90-day goals, our 30-day goals, then from that, it's so much easier to then be focused in what you want to achieve. I also will do, and this leads me on to my next point, which is 45-minute windows. So I will try to work in 45-minute Pomodoro windows. And that means that I will have a goal, I'll set a timer, and I often work in the kitchen and just say, Alexa, set timer for 45 minutes. And I will just crack on with this thing. And it makes me focus and makes me do it. But also, otherwise, I'll be like, I'll hang out the washing. I'll just do some cooking. I'll do this thing. Whereas it means that I just crack on because I've got 45 minutes. Come on, get on with it. And I might get to 45 minutes. Alexa's timer goes off, da-ding, da-ding. And then suddenly I'm in the flow and I don't want to stop. But that's great because I'm in flow and I don't want to stop. Because so often I will procrastinate, but that's removed the procrastination. If after 45 minutes I say, I'm totally done, I'm brain dead, I stop because I promised myself I'd do 45 minutes. In the same way that I'm getting a bit hangry and because I've been filming YouTube videos all day and I want to go and eat something, and I shoved a load of vegetables to roast in the air fryer and I knew I had 20 minutes to roast my vegetables. So I thought, right, I'm going to come up here and create another video. And I've just heard the timer go off, but I'm in flow, so I want to keep going. And I find setting those kind of timers, creating that false urgency really helps. I'm a former journalist, so I'm used to being on deadline. And having that, you've got 10 minutes left, really works for me. And I see it the same with my son at school. The teachers have told me that, he will kind of get bored and like daydream off. And so they will say to him, right, you've got to do this for 15 minutes, right? Do it for 15 minutes and then you can stop. And so that works much better for him. And that's okay for you too. Once you're in the zone, then you're focused and you get on with it. My son will find that once he's in the zone, he doesn't want to stop, but it's getting started. So doing whether it's 15 minutes, whether it's 45 minutes Pomodoro window, but just creating that urgency really works. The other thing that I find really, really helpful for me is stacking my habits. So James Clear talks about this in the wonderful, brilliant book I really highly recommend called Atomic Habits. And it's basically where you have a habit, so you add on another habit. So for me, I do the school run and then immediately afterwards, I'm in my running clothes, I go running. Because if I were to come back, get on with my day, faff around, I wouldn't run because I'd run out of time and I'd suddenly be like, oh my God, it's school pickup, I've missed my running window. So that way I'd get my run in. And I realized, so I then come back and I make a smoothie. And I realized that I had bought all of these things to help me with my mental focus. And I just talked earlier about using, to to help me with like brain fog and menopause, not menopause, perimenopause, I definitely, so, you know, I've been taking various supplements, and I basically forget to take all of these supplements because my brain doesn't really work like that. So I knew that I had to stack a habit in order to have the supplements. So I have a smoothie, but I didn't want to have the supplements in the smoothie because that makes the smoothie gross. So I have my nice smoothie, and I just have what I call my disgusting smoothie, which is just filled with all of these, like, you know, berry flavored whatever, and collagen and MCT oil and all of this stuff. And so it's like I just do a cupful, and I just stick all of these things in there, and I remember my multivitamins and my tablets and my all of that, kind of all of the things for biohacking that are going to really help me with my mental function and help me keep going, which I really need, but I often forget to take. So by stacking a habit on making a smoothie, I stack the habit of, now I've added in all the supplements as a kind of aside to that. So it's you looking at your life and thinking, how can I stack my habits? Whether it's, you know, something with the school run, or whether it's like walking the dog and you do something, whether that's, you know, going for meditation. When I go for my meditation, I will run past a church, and I'll literally go and sit in the church and listen to a guided meditation. And so I love being in the space. It's like a Christian space, but I love being in, you know, I'm not listening to something Christian, I'm listening to something that's sort of more woo-woo spiritual, but I love being in the space of an old, beautiful 16th century church. And I feel uplifted and inspired, and I love being in that space. And so I do that on my run. And it means that I've done the school run, I've been for a run, I've done my meditation, I did my journaling earlier in the day, and I did my LinkedIn post earlier in the day, you know, and I've done a lot of things. So it means when I come back, I have half an hour to kind of get changed because I'm all sweaty, and quick shower, and I will quick shower, and then I'm like into work, and I've got 4 hours to get it done. Another big one, which is what you are watching the result of right now, is batching. And I really try to batch my content, and by planning out my YouTube videos, batching that content, it really helps me. And I find that by batching that content, I am being focused, creating that content in a particular time capsule, and it means that it's done. It means that I am consistent with my content, and it means that I've got content for the whole summer. But by batching, I'm in the zone and I get it done. Otherwise, if I were to be saying, oh, I'll make a YouTube video a week, or I'll do an Instagram reel a week, it would not happen. So I have to find ways that work with my brain, and definitely batching my content works for me. So those were my tips. 5 tips to help you with managing your focus, your productivity, and getting stuff done. If you like this video, I would love you to subscribe. I share loads of tips and strategies to help you build and grow your online business. And if you're thinking, I want to create an easy business, then check out my easy launch plan below. And I'd love to see you around soon. Take care. Bye, bye, bye.